Hello, this is Trub from Marquee Insights, and today we're going to talk about a common situation that we find in SharePoint lists, namely those of multi-value fields. How do we get to this information in Power BI? That's really the question of the day, and we've seen a number of posts out there wondering how to do this. Really what I want to do is not only just pull in the information, but I want to make it where if I have a filter, I can filter and say, oh, show me everywhere that choice number 3 is used, that kind of thing. And so in order for us to do that, what we have to do is really the following. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we basically need to create 3 different tables in Power BI. I'm going to show you how to do that because we're going to bring in the original list as we have seen before, and we've done in our previous blog post on how to attach to a list from Power BI. But now I need 2 additional tables to help support that need to be able to filter. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to create a cross-reference table where we're going to take the information from the original list, we're going to create a cross-reference that allows you to show everywhere that a value exists in that multi-value field. Here is the associated original list item. And then from there, we're going to build out a list of the multi-value fields, which in this case will be those 3 things. Sound good? Okay, let me take you through how to do this then. So now we're going to go over to Power BI, and here I'm going to go to Get Data, and I'm going to go to More, and we are then going to look for our SharePoint list. So I'm going to do a search. So SharePoint. Wow, that totally didn't work, but okay, found it anyway. SharePoint list. Click Connect. So we want to do this first. I'm going to paste in my URL. Click OK. And we're looking for that project issues list. Now the first thing we have to do is log in. So again, always remember to select Microsoft account if you're online. I'm going to go ahead and click Sign In here. That'll bring up the ugliest screen known to man. If you have a high definition monitor, there seems to be a bug there. And then I'm going to select the site, click OK, or Connect. And this will then bring up the browser where I can then select the particular thing I'm trying to find. So the navigator screen here, I'm going to click Project Issues. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to Transform Data because again, I want to make sure that I've got the right stuff and I need to be there anyway to create those other 2 tables. So the first thing we want to do here is we need to get to the multi-value information. Now if you scroll through here, one of the things that you will know from last time is we have an issue already where we don't have the right field type. So we're going to have to fix that. We're also looking through here, we see our multi-value list, but what we see is that it's in yellow text. So again, we're going to have to do some expansion here to get to that information. So first thing I want to do though is I want to go through and I want to set my data types for anything that isn't yellow. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to select multi, I'm going to go to transform, detect data type just like we did last time. That's going to fix it really fast. I'm going to go here to V3 comments, just using control click, nothing spectacular here, just like we do in Excel. And keep going until I find all the rest of them. Again, this is a cleanup thing. If you do all of these actions at the same time, you will note that in the right hand side it will aggregate all those actions into the change types. Again, detect data type, and there we go, right back to it. Okay, so now here we have our multi-value list, and that's basically saying we have multiple values for everything within this particular list item. So the way you get to the items in the list, if you want to see it, you can basically click on the empty space next to it, and it'll show you the values here at the bottom in the preview. But I actually want to expand these so that I can see them in here. Now we could expand to new rows, which we may want to do later, and there's different ways you can do this, or we can do extract values. So I'm going to do extract values because I actually want to see those values themselves. And it asked me to select a delimiter, so I'm going to select comma and click OK. And then that's going to give us what we had originally. And so now we have our inner choice 1, inner choice 2, and you can see all the values here. So what happens if I want to ensure that I can do a filter just based on 1, 2, or 3 and show me all the entries for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my cross-reference table. And one of the things that you can do here is in Power BI, you can right-click and you can either duplicate or reference. Now, in this case, it's debatable as to which one you want to use. I tend to use reference, and the reason for that is that if one of these tables is refreshed, I want all of them to be refreshed together. So I'm going to do refresh, a reference, and this is going to basically give me exactly what was in here before. I'm going to name this now my project issues cross-reference, just something basic. Now, I really only need 2 columns in here. I need ID, which we're going to use that to reference back to the original, and then I need the multi-value list. So I'm going to do control-click for that. And that's going to give me my 2 selected columns. I'm going to go back to the Home tab, and I'm going to say remove other columns. So basically this removes everything that's not selected. And so now I just have my 2 items here. I'm going to further split my multi-value list now into rows, which I know I could have done before, but we want to do it this way where we're picking up any changes from the issues and creating the cross-reference. So the easy way to do that, go to transform, and we're going to go to split column. We're going to do this by delimiter. So again, we're going to use comma because that's what we set before. And under the advanced options, here is where I'm going to say split into rows. And if we click OK, notice now we have, for every instance of a choice, we have the associated ID. So this is good. Later when we filter, we want this to be together. Now, one of the other things I would suggest doing with the multi-value list is actually going in here and just doing a trim just to make sure there's no random spaces in there. It's usually a good idea. We've seen this in Excel, let's do it here, and it makes life good. Now, we're going to do this again. We're going to say reference, and this time we're going to come up with our MV values that we want. So again, change the name, and in this case, all I want really is I'm going to, because it is a small table, I'm going to say remove other columns. So I just want the multi-value list. And then I'm going to right click on this and say remove duplicates. And there's my 3. All right, so this is looking pretty good, but we're not yet done. So the way this magic works is we have to tie the relationships between the 3 tables. So we have issues, we have our cross-reference, and then we have our multi-value fields. So I'm going to go ahead and click close and apply. You can see the query run where all 3 are picked up. And then we're going to go to the relationship tab. And we want to make sure that these are set up correctly. So what's going to happen right now is if I filter on multi-value list, say I want choice 1, it's going to filter the cross-reference table, but not the project issues table. That's not quite what we want here. So what I want to do is I want to make this a bidirectional relationship, so it filters in both directions. I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to change this from single to both, like so, and click OK. You can see how we're going to filter based on the multi-values. So over here, I'm going to drag this over to filter on page so that I don't have to do anything special for my list. And then over here, and you can actually hide the cross-reference table if you really wanted to, but I'm going to leave it. So we're going to do ID. I'm going to make this a table, and we're going to do title, and helps to click it. There we go. And yeah, that's good enough. So now, well, let's do the multi-value field so you can see what everything you're selecting here is. All right, so got that. And now if I come in here and say, show me everything that has choice 1, there you are. If I just want choice 2, that's pretty much everything. Choice 3, that's pretty much everything. So again, depending on the information that I had, in fact, I could go back to here and I could say, you know what, I don't want all 3, I'm going to just select 1. So we're going to go ahead and change this, and now we're going to go okay, let's get rid of these 2, click save, and then That should do that. And then we're going to go back here to Power BI and we're going to refresh. So you should see the last one update, and it did. And so now if I select one, get those. If I select two, you see it change. So again, this gives you a quick way to set this up. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. Thanks.